Hi, I'm Margie Holmes, psychologist, author, and educator. For the next 3 weeks, we'll be talking about a popular topic among you, our viewers, and that is stalking. For today's episode, we'll focus on what contributes stalking, and I am so proud of you for being the first ones to define and insist on having an accurate definition of stalking. So let's start with Sandy Floride, who says, dictionary defines a stalker as someone who stealthily hunts or pursues another and or harasses someone with unwanted and obsessive attention. So, if a person doesn't fit this definition, he or she is just a Facebook friend. Carlos Gonzalez, if you were socializing in real life with a person you know, nobody would say you're stalking him. I'm sure all of us have viewers to our profiles 24/7 whom we'll never know. We all get curious about other people. Tanya Garcia says, some employers check Facebook accounts of applicants. I don't think this is stalking. At one point, we become stalkers of our exes, but most of us have the discipline and control to stop. At V-Barreiro asks, what exactly contributes stalking versus cautiously doing a background check on someone who talks to you? To which one might say, the first is creepy and you're not in control. And the second is smart, you're in control and want to stay that way over your own life. At Dizzy_Tokyo says, we tend to peek at the profiles of people we like or hate just to know what they are up to. At Kit N says, yes, voyeurs at the least, but everyone is also an exhibitionist. Ging Berdon says, I think in some perverse way, we want to be stalked. It gives us some sense of importance. Now, Steve Rogers poses an interesting question. What's the difference between courtship and stalking? Sherilyn C., respect. Says Miliado, motive. Yomi Artemos, courtship deals with respect and perseverance, and you don't have to hide from the person you want to know. Stalking deals with hidden desire. Bert Kibuyen, courtship is harmless pursuit. Stalking is harmful pursuit. McCoy Villaroman, it's normal to pursue a person who makes your heart sing. It's normal, especially if you are really infatuated with the person. But there are certain parameters and ground rules one has to follow to not be labeled a psycho. Be normal, be polite, and respectful. Angelina Sparks Canapi shares her experiences. There have been disgruntled, busted men who used to court me. I'd receive letters that eventually became obsessive, or they'd be waiting outside my school, or show up peering into the window of our living room. But at some point, it ends. Stalking begins when courtship is cut off, and then, in love, turns to, I will have you. I must have you, and the object ceases to matter. It's all about the intent. Steve Rogers says, at a certain point, the line gets blurred. It's in the eye of the object. There are identical patterns of pursuit that are considered courtship if they are welcome, and stalking if they are not. Angelina Sparks Canapi says, because society trained us here not to be direct, all these games have to be played, and that's how we get blurred lines. To which Alfie Melia adds, there's one aspect of Filipino culture in general that I don't admire, when hypocrisy and courtesy are interchanged or mixed with each other. No means no, and that should be it. Straightforward, assertive, and honest. Dapat pag-ayaw, sabihin ng malinaw at maayos. Sorry, pero di pwede eh. Sa kabilang panig naman, pag-ayaw di dapat pilitin. Angelina Sparks Canapi, it's a primal thing really. When courting, you choose the person who would fit your ideals the most. Stalking is hunting. You might as well think of deer as in deer hunting. But the point is, it's primal. You hunt. John Rev Gilaran, when stalking gets in the way of normal functioning, it becomes maladaptive, like in the case of people with erotomatic delusions who stalk their artista crushes. And that is very true, John Rev, and sometime down the road, I hope we will have a chance to talk about erotomania. Some people stalk because they lack the social skills to create real relationships with other people. Thank you very much, John Reb, for these very, very good insights you share. Alfie Melia, an important element of stalking is obsessiveness of one expressing the attention plus the feelings of discomfort on the object of attention. So if a person of attention likes the person expressing the attention, this isn't stalking because there's no element of unwanted attention. Angelina Spark follows it up. If you like the dude or the chick following you around, would you call them stalkers? That's a very good point, Angelina, because stalking also depends as much on the stalkee, the person being stalked. But having said that, we have to remember to distinguish between real stalkies and supposed stalkies who actually have no basis to accuse the supposed stalker of stalking. We're talking about a stalkie who's frightened even if there are no objective indices that she should be. That is, someone who seems on the border of paranoia, or someone who may actually be paranoid. Finally, you've all noticed that all your responses have happily not been on the uber scary, killing, but even if not physically scary, it can be emotionally scary and thus should stop. And asking or begging for it to stop isn't enough. This would be just like a mendicant begging for alms, where the person giving the alms or the person stalking has a choice. There still isn't a law on stalking, although there have been some congressmen and senators who have tried to, who have introduced this law. And I think it's time that we thought seriously about having a law about stalking. Well, that's it for today. Next week, we'll talk about being stalked. That is, being the stalkee. Send me your comments, questions, and suggestions for future episodes on Facebook, tweet using the hashtag AskMargie, or send an email to askmargie@rappler.com. See you next week.